Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Star Spangled Banner. Every year I get you guys. Come on. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Good afternoon. It is a great pleasure and honor on behalf of the students, staff, alumni, and soon-to-be graduates that we welcome you to the Spring 2026 Harold Ferguson High School Commencement Ceremony. My name is Dr. Jason Germain, Principal of Ferguson High School, and today we congregate to celebrate the hard work, accomplishments, and achievements of 40 amazing members of the Ferguson High School family. Yeah, you can give them an applause. That'd be good. I give that applause like an A-, so later I expect better. Thank you. Before we begin, we are honored to have the presence of several dignitaries. Dignitaries, when recognized, please stand. Please help me welcome Dr. Brett Heller, Superintendent. Ms. Sarah Rasmussen, Assistant Superintendent of Learning Services. Mr. Stu Boyd, President, Thompson School District Board of Education. Ms. Alexandra Lessam, Vice President, Thompson School District Board of Education. Ms. Dawn Kirk, Secretary, Thompson School District Board of Education. Please help me give our dignitaries a big round of applause for their support of Ferguson High School and our students. And we're 30 seconds into this. I already made a mistake. Please also help me recognize who I couldn't see over there, Miss Nancy Rumfeld, Thompson School District Board of Education, Director of District C. I would also like to acknowledge the parents, siblings, extended family members, guardians, and all of the others who have provided support to the students here today. Please help me give a round of applause to the people behind the scenes who have contributed to the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates. Many Thompson School District employees have also contributed to the success of the students we are celebrating today, including former teachers, administrators, and support staff. If you are a district employee who does not work at Ferguson High School, please stand to be recognized. At Harold Ferguson High School, our mission is simple yet meaningful. Specifically, our mission is to create alternative experiences because each learner deserves different, not less. At this time, I would ask the teaching and support staff of Ferguson High School to please stand. The educators at Harold Ferguson High School deliver on this mission every single day, ensuring to the best of their ability that each student is on a pathway to graduation, that they attend school every day, and that they treat others better than they themselves want to be treated. You're laughing at the other everyday part, huh? The staff accomplish this through the development of meaningful relationships, by being aggressively supportive, and by approaching their craft with both flexibility and grace. Please help our graduates and I give the staff of Harold Ferguson High School one more well-deserved round of applause. Graduates, I am so proud of each of you. As you sit on the stage today, I want to take a minute and remind you of the story of the lighthouse. Ferguson Alternative High School chose the lighthouse as their school symbol in 1990, as many students felt that Ferguson provided a guiding light through life's storms. This light has helped lead those who have been lost back to the safety and shelter of a caring school environment. During our graduation ceremonies, every graduate leaves a part of themselves and a piece of light for the students left behind, so that they too will find their way to being successfully educated and cared about with the help of the Ferguson family. While our celebration today is one that recognizes and acknowledges each of your academic journeys, it is important to recognize the Ferguson alumni and the Ferguson family who illuminated the way for you. Further, it is important to reflect on those who will benefit from the light you leave behind this afternoon, light that shines brighter as a result of the accomplishments, achievements, effort, and perseverance that have defined your collective journey to this stage today. If you are here today, you never gave up. If you're here today, you looked forward when it would have been much easier, perhaps, to have looked back. Most importantly, if you are here today, you're ready to go out into the world and make a difference. I know this because you've already made a difference at Ferguson High School, and I know you can and you will make a difference in the world after Ferguson High School. I know this commitment to education in your future for many of you did not come without the recognition that the traditional school environment was not meeting your needs and that you wanted and maybe even needed something different, something alternative. I also want you to understand that alternative, while different, is certainly not less. As you embark on the first day of the rest of your lives, it is important to recognize that life's storms do not stop after graduation. When things are tough, please remember you're a capable, resilient, self-sufficient, and brave young men and women. Thank you for being part of the Ferguson High School family. Thank you to each of you for sticking with school when other paths appeared easier. And most importantly, thank you for choosing to follow through on your commitment to graduating high school. And to quote Maddie Eckhart, a 2021 Ferguson graduate, "Leave your mark so others may find their way in the dark." Please help me give our graduates a round of applause for their commitment to education, to themselves, and their futures. That was a solid A, thank you. I have the honor and privilege to introduce our graduate who will provide the student remarks this afternoon. Please help me welcome Ms. Bethany Solis to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. My name is Bethany Solis. It is an incredible honor to stand before you today on a day that means so much to all of us. Graduation is more than a ceremony. It is a moment where years of effort, growth, and change come together all at once. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the people who made this journey possible. To our teachers, thank you for your patience, your guidance, and for challenging us to become better than what we thought we could be. And to our families and friends, thank you for your constant support, for believing in us, and for standing by us through every step of this journey. And to my classmates, take a moment to look around. These are the people we've grown alongside. The people who turned ordinary days into memories we'll carry for the rest of our lives. We've supported each other, learned from each other, and in so many ways helped shape who we are today. Our journey here was not always easy. We faced challenges, some visible, others not. We've supported each other, learned from each other, and There were moments of stress, of doubt, and of uncertainty. There were also moments of success, laughter, and connection. And through it all, we kept going. That's what makes today so meaningful. Because what we've gained is more than academic knowledge. We've learned resilience, how to keep moving forward when things don't go as planned. We've learned responsibility, independence, and the importance of perseverance. These are the lessons that will stay with us long after today. I still remember my freshman year walking into school for the first time. Everything felt new and honestly a little overwhelming. I wasn't completely sure where I fit in or what I was capable of. There were moments when I doubted myself, whether I was good enough, whether I could keep up, whether I truly belonged here. But over time, through the support of teachers and friends and the experiences we shared, that uncertainty slowly turned into confidence. I learned to speak up, to take chances, and to believe in my own ability to grow. A big part of that growth came from the Ferguson community. Having our community every step of the way made all the difference. It was through this community that I felt supported during difficult times and celebrated during the good ones. It pushed me to step out of my comfort zone, to connect with others, and to realize that growth doesn't happen alone. And standing here today, I can say that I'm not the same person I was back then. And that growth is something I know many of us share. The Ferguson family is something I will carry in my heart always. As we stand on the edge of what comes next, it's natural to feel both excitement and uncertainty. The future doesn't come with clear instructions, our paths will be different, and we won't always know exactly where they lead. But that's okay, because we are prepared, not because we have all the answers, but because we've learned how to find them. We've learned how to adapt, how to grow, and how to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. So as we leave this chapter behind, let's carry that with us. Let's embrace the unknown with courage and approach the future with both determination and humility. Let's not be afraid to take risks, to make mistakes, and to learn along the way. Because the future is not something that simply happens to us, it is something we have the power to shape. And while today marks the end of one chapter, it is also the beginning of something new, a beginning filled with possibility, opportunity, and the chance to become exactly who we are meant to be. So to the graduating class of 2026, congratulations, we made it. Let's take this moment to celebrate everything we've accomplished and everything that still lies ahead. Thank you to everyone who joined us today to celebrate this unforgettable milestone. Please help me welcome Dr. Germain back to the podium.
Amazing job. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Brett Heller, Thompson School District Superintendent, to the podium for the acceptance of the class. Dr. Heller, I hereby attest and confirm that the students before you have successfully completed the requirements set forth by the Thompson School District Board of Education and are deserving of this recognition with the presentation of their high school diploma.
On behalf of the Thompson School District Board of Education, the district leadership team, and community, I am honored to accept the Ferguson High School class of 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Heller. This begins the presentation of the 2026 graduates. As we proceed, each graduate will be invited to the podium by their chosen staff member. Following brief remarks, each graduate will receive a rose and diploma cover in line with our longstanding tradition at Ferguson High School. At this time, I would like to welcome Ms. Katie Coons to the podium to formally acknowledge our first graduate.
CJ Holmes. When I think about this student, the first word that comes to mind is presence. Even though CJ was only at Ferguson for a short time, he immediately made an impression as a young man who was intelligent, creative, and unapologetically himself. In his year at Ferguson, CJ really embraced what makes this school special. He took advantage of concurrent enrollment to help pursue his goal of becoming a pilot, while also appreciating the community around him. He found joy in the creative freedom here in Ferguson Fabrics and Art, of which he says Tyler is the best art teacher he has ever had. He loves getting to go on campaigns with Dungeon Master Ben and the best D&D club, and he even survived classes he didn't expect to enjoy, like Modern America. I think that this collection of memories says a lot about who CJ is. He stays curious, he notices people, and he values experiences. CJ, we will always remember your unique sense of style and sense of humor. You are leaving Ferguson a little more interesting than you found it. I'm excited to see where life takes you next, hopefully somewhere around 30,000 feet. Congratulations. I would like to welcome Ryan Stallon and Laura Anderson to the podium.
Finian Richter. Finn began his welding journey in January of this year when he registered for my Front Range Community College welding program. My first impression of Finn was that he seemed like someone who has potential to be extremely successful in the skilled trades. If only we could get Finn here on time. But this would all change. In almost 20 years of teaching, I know most seniors' attendance actually gets worse the closer we get to May, but Finn's attendance actually began to get better as the days went on, and we got closer to this finish line. Finn was now showing up on time and ready to work every day. Finn's skills grew by the assignment, and I enjoyed seeing the progress in these skills. I got to watch Finn transform from a student who could sort of join two pieces of metal together into someone who knows the feeling of when the electricity begins to flow and the hood goes dark. And then in that darkness, we get to see the dance between the heat of the arc and the molten puddle. And that moment, it's really the only thing that matters. So when I was asked to speak about Finn at the graduation ceremony, I wondered what wisdom or gift I could impart on a welding student that is graduating. I decided to give Finn some soapstone. To most, it appears to just be a dusty rock that makes white random marks on steel. But in a craftsman's hands, it's a tool that enables them to show the world their ideas and intentions. Use it as an instrument, Finn, to help you shape steel and leave your mark on the world. I'll leave you guys with this final thought. Craftsmanship bridges that gap between raw imagination and tangible reality. Craftsmanship elevates our labors into art through our dedication, attention to detail, and our skill. And I found Finn to be a fine craftsman. And now Laura Anderson.
When I think of Finn, my heart smiles. I remember Finn's interview for Ferguson. We always asked the question, who do you know at Ferguson? I remember Finn listing at least 10 to 15 students he already knew on campus. He was going to fit right in. Finn made a home for himself on our campus immediately, and it was like he had sort of always been there, even though he was a freshman. Finn is an opportunist. He has initiative, curiosity, and drive. Finn has taken classes on almost every high school campus in the Thompson School District. He has participated in marching band at Loveland High, both auto and welding programs at Thompson Valley, completed a year of design and manufacturing at the Thompson Career Campus, and obviously, Ferguson. It was always so fun to hear about what Finn wanted to do and try next, what his dreams and goals were, and together we figured out how he was going to get there. Finn, you have such a presence everywhere you go. You possess the qualities of a natural-born leader, navigating life with maturity and perspective that far exceed your years. I feel like I can safely speak for everyone and say that you will be very missed at Ferguson. I mean, who's going to make me laugh with just a simple facial expression now? The world needs you, and thank you for being the person that so many feel safe with. Congratulations. I would like to welcome Mike Finders to the podium.
Evelyn Blanco. Ava Blanco is an active and attentive student. Having known her since middle school, I'll say that her attention, while pretty fickle, lands eventually on everything. Ava has always been able to assess situations of potential conflict with peers or teachers and correctly identify how to avoid those conflicts. And as a student who used to be somewhat aversive to long reading or writing assignments, Ava would sometimes want to avoid conflicts that would happen with her English teachers. So in 8th grade, every afternoon, I had to try to find Ava. She could be pretty sneaky, especially after she learned that I would be the one who was looking for her. She would usually see me before I saw her. In our high school years, we had both gone on to different schools. But this time, she was the one who found me. She didn't need as much in high school as she did in middle school. Having calmed her impulses, matured, and so this time we were mostly just buddies. I'm really proud of my buddy, Ava. And I love the way you pay attention to everything. Congratulations, Ava. Ashley Sarsfield. Ashley Sarsfield is an honest person. She communicates with clarity and frank transparency. This can be a really helpful trait to her teachers. When we often ask questions in class, Ashley would often choose to stay quiet. But if you check in with her and ask, "Are you good? Do you know what you're doing on this assignment?" Ashley would often be frank and say something like, "No, I don't know what I'm doing," or "I'm completely lost." After someone helps her understand the gist of how to do an assignment, Ashley always works hard to finish up. I would say, "Ashley, after reviewing your work, I wonder if you used ChatGPT for this answer." "I totally used ChatGPT for this answer." "Awesome, let's figure out how to write it in your own way." I know that she ended up at Ferguson simply because on most days, she just didn't feel like going to school. And Ashley always made me proud to work at FHS, knowing that for her and other students, whether we realize it or not, Ferguson is a place where you feel like you belong, and you actually do. I'm really proud of you, Ashley. Congratulations. Elizabeth Solis. Liz Solis won't do one thing she doesn't want to do. Man, can that be frustrating for her teachers. But as a father myself with daughters only a little older than Liz, I was always looking for that strong independence, stubborn belief in oneself, and knowing what they need. My time working with Liz was a constant test for me, and knowing that while Liz, from time to time in her younger years, needed some help with good decision making, my gut would always remind me that we don't need more women who automatically do what people tell them to do. Getting to play a supporting role in Liz's story for almost 7 years, I was able to see her move from an impulsive teen to a poised and powerful young woman about to get her diploma. She has challenges in front of her, but a solid sense of self, a great internal meter for what matters most, and an ever-present support network in her loving and steadfast family will see her through these next steps. I'm so proud of Elizabeth Solis. Way to see it through, kiddo. Congratulations. And I would like to welcome Heath Graybill to the podium.
Parker Hayes. I first met Parker as a sixth grader when he came to New Vision. And like most middle schoolers, I feel like he probably didn't like my class that much because it was math. It's not a real popular middle school class. But he came every day with a positive attitude, even when times were tough. As he moved through middle school, he continued to grow as a student. He became more confident. He worked on his time management and started to find things that were important to him, all while keeping that positive attitude and smile. Parker, you're going to have so many opportunities to learn new passions and find things that you love. Take advantage of all these opportunities. Try new things. Do the things that you always thought about doing. Some of you may not know what your calling is in life, and you may have already found it in high school, but whatever it is, you may have to move out of your comfort zone, so keep pushing yourself to excel. The real world, just like high school, is going to come with ups and downs. You might stumble and fall, and that's okay. If you fall, it's about how you get up. It's easy after failure to quit, but it's truly something you love and have a passion for. Keep pushing yourself. I want to leave you, Parker gave me a quote that he wanted to leave everyone with from Corey Taylor. The future is meant for those who are willing to let go of the worst parts of the past. Congratulations, Parker, and good luck. I would like to welcome to the stage Shane Momeyer.
Who is bright? All right, I'd like to call up Anna Oleski. We're good, we got this. Okay. All right, so I first want to recognize some people that in Anna's life that she loves and appreciates for being there for her. We all need people to lean on when life gets tough. First, she wants to recognize her mom, who has helped her through so much throughout her life. Her sister as well, for always being there for her. Her dad for being protective of her, and her boyfriend, Kobe, who has been with her through many ups and downs at Ferguson High School. All right. I have had the honor to have Anna in several classes, and I observed over time at Ferguson, she has a growth mindset, solid work ethic, and a kind heart. Her growth mindset, which is hardest to keep after making mistakes. Sometimes we want to deflect responsibility when we make mistakes or blame others and refuse to learn from them, but not Anna. She has made some mistakes like many of us do when we're young, but she acknowledges them and she learns from them and she accepts responsibility for her actions and uses the experiences to make herself a better person. This is a solid foundation for a great human being. Work ethic. I've said 1,000 times that the number one indicator for success in life is work ethic, which needs to be practiced. You can't be lazy and just wake up one day with solid work ethic. You have to build it through daily habits. Anna exhibited these characteristics in my classes when others would complain about difficulty or length of assignments. She dove right in, tackled it head on. She read the directions, she put thought into her answers, and she really made the most of her educational opportunities in my class. And last but certainly not least, her kind heart. She consistently showed a kind heart, which I think the world needs more of. She has been through a lot, and that can make some kids bitter, but she refuses to let that break her spirit. She showed kindness with me with kind words and often letting me know that she enjoys my class and appreciates the work I put into it. Which quite frankly is shocking to see in a teenager. She shows constant kindness and empathy towards her boyfriend Kobe, which you can regularly see that she cares for a lot. She shows kindness to other students in leading them in the right direction and letting them know something they said might be hurtful or inconsiderate to others. So Anna, my message to you is to keep your growth mindset and become the amazing person you no doubt are destined to be. Continue to work hard, even when you do not feel like it. Your perseverance will separate you from the rest, and you will achieve your goals. And never let the world steal your shine and make you bitter. Your kindness will inspire others and make the world a better place. And now I would like to call up Ben Evanson and Judy Gustafson.
Joseph Dodiro. It is a pleasure to speak about Joseph Dodiro, a student who has truly made an impact since the moment he arrived. Joe is a young man who charges full speed ahead and instantly fit into our community, bringing warmth that made it feel as though he had always been a part of the group. Joe is passionate about many things: hockey, good Italian food, football, family, but last but not least, his faith. He is an avid believer in God, and he shows his faith through his genuine kindness and intentionality. He doesn't just interact with others arbitrarily, he does so with purpose and care. Because of this, Joe has shown an incredible ability to make friends and build lasting relationships that enrich those around him. We've enjoyed having Joe in classes, and I've had the pleasure of having him become a leader within our D&D club. While this combination has led to distractions for both of us during class times, as Joe expertly gets me onto side tangents over actual content or just some D&D related question. Joe is remarkably responsible, always ensuring his commitments are met with integrity. One of his plans for the future is to be a motorcycle mechanic. He is also a people person, and we could definitely see him as a motivational speaker or someone who mentors young people. As Joe moves into the next chapter, there is no doubt that he's going to build a life that reflects who he is, driven and involved. Joe is a valued member of our community, and we are proud of all he has achieved and are experiencing the bittersweet joy of sending him on his way to his next adventure. Congratulations, Joe.
Jonah Sanchez. I am honored to be able to give away Jonah. Jonah, you have shown all of us what resilience really looks like. High school hasn't been the easiest road for you, and I know there were moments when we talked about you going for your GED and not a diploma. There were a lot of obstacles, setbacks, and moments when you were just done. But here you are this afternoon graduating. Your perseverance says so much about you as a person. It takes strength to keep showing up when things are difficult, and it takes determination to believe that your future can be brighter. Jonah, it's been a year since you were in my Algebra 2 class, but I can tell that you've grown more focused and more determined to reach your goals. I hope you have learned that setbacks do not define you, but how you respond to them does. Forward progress and keep moving even when life gets messy and hard. Jonah, you have finished what you started, and we are very proud of you. I know your perseverance will serve you well in your next endeavors. We wish you the best of luck as you go forward as a high school graduate from Harold Ferguson High School. I would like to welcome April Cameron to the podium.
Oh, now it's way. They always encourage us not to touch the microphone. Thanks, Dr. G. I'd like to welcome Jamie Chan. I'm so much taller than her. Okay. All right. I first met Jamie when she was in 4th grade. I know, so long ago, and joined the soccer team that I was coaching. She was such a sweet girl with a carefree spirit on the field. I remember feeling very bummed when she stopped playing soccer, but hopefully it wasn't because of my coaching. 6 years later, I reconnected with Jamie during her freshman year at Thompson Valley High School. Although neither of us remembered that we knew each other, here she was, this young girl, with a style and presence about her that intrigued me. Her peace-loving, hippie-style aura reminded me so much of myself as a young person. After meeting with her sister, we realized that I was Jamie's coach a long time ago. So many emotions, it made perfect sense of why I was initially intrigued to work with her. I feel really weird that I'm so tall. Okay. Over the next year and a half, I worked closely with Jamie. Oh, I already said that. Oh, no, I didn't. Over the next year and a half, I worked very closely with Jamie and her sister. I finally suggested applying to Ferguson, and Jamie transferred her junior year. Jamie was very successful there and spent her senior year taking classes at Front Range Community College. Although she hasn't been on campus for this year, we have still remained in close contact. I am so honored to stand here and hand her diploma that she worked so hard to obtain. Here is my hope for you, Jamie, as you begin this next chapter of your life. Life is like a soccer field. There are many times when the ball is out of bounds. Just like with the future, you may be faced with a bad throw, but remember, it doesn't define you in that moment. Get back in the game, strive for those goals even if it takes multiple tries. Don't give up. There are players on the field who will be your teammates as you travel through life. Be a team player, but remember, it's a give and take relationship. Be fair, be honest, but most importantly, be true to you. There is only one Jamie Chan, and so embrace all of you. No soccer player is perfect or flawless, but many learn how to live, love, and persevere. To my calm, vibing, chilling graduate, go out into this world and flash your signature double finger salute. Yes, I'm talking about your very own Peace Girl. Congratulations. So proud of you. Okay. Now I have a seat. I would like to welcome to the podium Laura Anderson.
Zuri Campos Maldonado. My sweet Zuri. When I think of Zuri, I think about hard work, family values, quiet strength, someone who operates on her own time and still manages to get things done, almost to perfection. Zuri, you have wisdom that a person of your age should not have yet. You understand the darker sides of life that most people can't even imagine. You have an ability to learn quickly and teach others. Your love for your family is admirable. What I've learned about you over the years is that when you decide to do something or not, it comes true. This can go one of two ways, and it can totally derail you, or it can launch you into the life you've always imagined for yourself. You have the power inside your mind to decide what is important to you. You will be faced with several life circumstances coming at you all at once. People will need you, work will call you in, friends will call you to help them in a pinch, and my hope for you is that despite this, you will prioritize yourself. It's okay to do this, especially at this time in your life when you're just starting out. Zuri, everyone who knows you knows how much potential you have. We all see how strong you are. We all know how hard of a worker you are. As you step into this next phase of life, I encourage you to do the unfamiliar. Try the thing. Even if nobody around you is around to show you how, you will figure it out. You deserve to be on a college campus. You deserve a place in the world where you're in a position to help those around you because you have the education and resources to do so. You deserve stability, predictability, and a life that's all yours. I'd like to remind you that you have strong intuition. Trust it. Believe in it. Listen to it. And if it leads you to do the scary but necessary thing, then so be it. Because you have what it takes to get through it. So if you don't trust yourself quite yet, trust me, because I've seen you rise above your circumstances and learn from them time and time again. Finally, I want to thank you for letting me in. I realize graduation day is not about me, but I want you to know that on many days, our connection is what got me through. Whenever I questioned whether my work was making a difference, the thought of knowing such incredible individuals like you exists gave me the inspiration I needed. So thank you for being a true light in my life and for keeping me present. I am forever grateful. My most heartfelt congratulations to you, my sweet Zuri. It's your time to continue being great. Autumn Escal. Autumn, your time with us has been such a gift. Your journey at Ferguson began slowly, but the only reason is because you were already spending half of your days at Front Range Community College. You were already setting yourself up for success in the real world, quietly, independently, and consistently. As you allowed us to get to know you, we discovered your passion for your 2005 S197 Mustang, from replacing its transmission to decorating it for Halloween. Your dedication to the car community and your talent for capturing the intersection of art and machinery through photography have been wonderful to learn about. You have such a balance of politeness and strength. You possess a sensitive soul and a kind heart, yet you remain a steadfast advocate for justice and what is right. Witnessing your journey has been a true privilege, and as you begin this new phase, carry the wisdom of your yoga practice with you. Prioritize your mental and physical well-being. Seek balance. Understanding it is about finding stability within movement rather than avoiding it. Remain flexible, trusting that meaningful change comes through patient consistency. Acknowledge that showing up is often the most powerful part of the practice. And remember that we all fall in life. Try to fall with grace and awareness, and remember to always get back up. Life will have its ups and downs, but for someone like you who has that drive, that ambition, and that determination to be successful, your life will continue to get better as your voice gets stronger and your confidence grows. As you enter into your next era, be sure to continue to enjoy your passions, love your people, and most importantly, love yourself. You have so much to offer the world simply by being you. Congratulations, Autumn. The best is yet to come. Sarah Gonzalez. Sarah Gonzalez, a true force of nature, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah, you are not afraid of anything, and it's a quality I admire from the bottom of my heart. I noticed your energy almost instantly. I remember being on the Scholars Field Trip during the Lava Block Challenge, and you stepped up and took charge like you were running the show, and people listened. You have a magnetic field around you that draws people in. Through the years, I've watched you develop the skill of guarding your inner circle. You are now intentional and discerning about those you allow close to you, and as a result, you have surrounded yourself with a premier support system that uplifts you and helps you radiate even more brightly. I hope you never hesitate to let others see the person you are. Your story has been anything but linear. It had twists, turns, hills, valleys, obstacles, triumphs, downfalls, and rebirth. You've handled it all with strength and tenacity. It's as if every hard thing you've gone through has fueled you to become more confident and determined to overcome it all and prove that none of it can keep you down. This school year alone, you had 3 educational settings in 2 different cities, and you still managed to get everything done on time. And now you're on your way to college, which is where you belong. I have no notes. You know exactly what you need to do in this life to make it one you're proud of. You have learned from your past missteps. Today you possess a vivid vision for your future, and I am certain your relentless drive will turn that vision into reality. Your honesty is infectious, your style is captivating, your mind is sharp. Your energy is endless, and your potential reaches beyond the stars. May your falls feel like small stumbles compared to what you've already gone through, and may you continue to be fueled by your dreams of the next big thing. It has been a true honor to be a small part of your story. Now go write your book. Congratulations. Connor Martin. Hey, buddy. Connor, when I think of your high school journey, it is absolutely one for the books. I remember your Scholars Field Trip because it was my first one as the counselor at Ferguson. We had 2 classes at the same time, totaling about 40 students. It was too much. With that many students and that particular group of students, it kept the staff on its toes, to say the least. However, I remember observing you as a freshman, and it's like you knew what the right thing to do was, and you wanted to do the right thing. But I watched you get pulled into the conflict and drama. But that being said, I saw your potential to take the right path. We just had to help you find it. High school is a time for change, experimentation, growth, crashes, and surprises, and Connor has embodied all of that during his time with us. I watched Connor make poor decisions with tough consequences, but I also watched Connor stand up for what was right, no matter the cost. High school has been up and down, but Connor's ability to stop, reflect, and refine is what will set him up for success in the next chapter. Part of the joy of being a school counselor is trying to keep up with the ever-changing minds and moods of young people. During Connor's time with us, we went from full schedules to partial, to Thompson Online, to leaves of absences, and finally finishing up graduation requirements through our SOARS program. And on top of all that change, Connor did it all by the end of his junior year. There was a shift in attitude, maturity, and drive, and Connor was determined to get everything done, and he made it happen. And through it all, we had great conversations about life, dreams, and living right. Connor, I want you to remember how much power you have to do good. You are easy to talk to and easy to help. You were ready to be done with high school the minute you walked through the door, and now you get to truly move on and design the life that you want for yourself. I am so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lily.
I would like to welcome Steph Gerlaski to the podium.
Gavin Singleton. Many of you might not know me, but I'm also Gavin's Aunt Steph. When I think about Gavin, I honestly can't remember a time he wasn't around. I've known him his whole life, and over the years we've stayed just as close. Gavin has always had a mechanic's brain, where he can take apart, fix, or rebuild basically anything with a motor. Most people call AAA when something breaks, but I just call Gavin. At this point, I'm pretty sure half of my appliances are held together by his determination and a socket wrench. And honestly, if you know Gavin, you know he's resourceful. This is the only teenager I know who can buy a car off of Facebook for $50 and somehow sell it to a junkyard for $400. That's not luck, that's talent. But what I admire most about Gavin isn't just how hardworking or capable he is. Underneath the tough exterior and all the manly hobbies, he's one of the most caring and thoughtful people I know. He genuinely puts himself in other people's shoes and is always willing to help others that he cares about. I've been lucky enough to help him through his graduation process, and let's just say there was definitely moments I wasn't sure if we'd make this stage today. But you made it, barely, and I honestly could not be more proud of you. Gavin has a kind of determination, work ethic, and problem-solving ability that you just can't really teach. No matter what path he takes after graduation, I know he's going to be successful because he just has what it takes. I'm proud of you, I love you, and congratulations. I would like to welcome Cheryl Farrenbrook to the podium.
Andre Turner Rains. Andre, I am so incredibly honored to stand here with you today. I will never forget the first time we met. I was on lunch duty during my first day of your freshman year at Mountain View High School. I tried to strike up some small talk, and let's just say you wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. In fact, you told me where I could go. From that moment on, I made it a personal mission to connect with you every single day at lunch, whether you liked it or not. For a long time, all I got was a nod or a quick, hey, but I wasn't gonna give up. Fast forward a year to your first day at Ferguson High School. You found me in Grounded and you said, hey, do you remember me? It's like, Andre, of course I do. I remember you. From that second on, everything changed. I am so proud of you and who you've become. You are smart, kind, and deeply empathic. You're someone who stands up for what you believe in, and you fiercely protect the people that you care about. Beyond that, you are so artistic and incredibly talented. I can't wait to see how you bring that vision into your future career. It has been a true honor to watch you grow into the leader you are today. I believe in you, I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see the future that you're going to build. Congratulations, Andre, and again, I am so proud of you. I would like to welcome to the stage Kendra Vare.
Hello, you're in for a treat. I'm going to be up here for a while, so you'll know firsthand what it's like to be in class with me. Here we go. Willow Collins. Ready? I remember when I came and toured FHS, and you made eye contact in the collab space, and you said, "Miss Vare, is that you?" You had no idea at the time, but that quick interaction made me immediately feel at home. Who knew that our time in middle school would build a connection that would continue into high school? I've enjoyed watching you come into your own and discovering more about who you are. Your POL was the greatest example of the growth you have made. You stood in front of the community and your family and displayed a level of confidence I had never seen before in you. You shared your poetry and your art, and you owned it, and you used it to tell your story of finding your way. You used your art to paint your own path. You made it colorful and all your own. And I'm sure you found out more about who you are in the process as well. Willow, you are Skittles, an array of color, an independent, creative, and quietly unique person who grew into themselves right before our eyes. You chose to color outside the lines instead of just doing what everyone else did, and I have no doubt you will continue to apply this to your life beyond high school. Next up, JT Flint. You can come closer, it's fine. The first conversation between you and I went something like this. JT, yo, seriously, get off your phone. I'm texting my mom over and over again during third period English and seventh period nutrition and wellness. In my experience, interactions like these usually, oddly enough, find a way to work out in a positive way. Somehow, me being on your case for your phone, which, by the way, continued to be a problem his whole career at Ferguson High School, created a connection that I am grateful for because it allowed me to get to know you and the stuff you brought to Ferguson. What started out as redirection, or as you called, nagging, turned into constant jabs at my teaching, visits into my classroom while you were supposed to be in Hunter's class, checking in on my dog Franklin and how you're gonna kidnap him, and how ridiculous I was to buy a Kia Sportage because didn't you know they were easy to steal? And yeah, I do, because it actually got stolen once. During these times, I found out what you really needed, and that was a little big push, some positive interactions with adults, and some school confidence to turn a rocky road into a smooth path designed just for you by you. Your high school experience ended up having a plot twist. You took the longer road, you fumbled, you took detours and turns, but in the end, you landed on your feet and found the way. JT, you are a Take 5 candy bar, a mix of everything. You took a beat, you paused, and you came back even better on the other side. Who knew? You were already strong, but you figured it out on your way. You figured it out your way, trusted your timing, and in the end, that's all that matters. My greatest wish for you is that you continue to make it happen, find the people you need to push you to take the road that works for you, and settle into something that will no doubt make you happy. Good job, JT. Gabriel Kaiser. Get over here. You have a fan section. Get over here, Gabe. I remember meeting you and thinking, it must be tough to go to a new high school one semester for your senior year. We were on the scholars field trip together, and being my normal nosy self, I asked you 100 questions about why you decided to come to FHS at kinda the last minute. I cannot imagine what you thought of me, except awesome. But during the day, I learned all I needed to know about the kind of person you really were. Also, awesome. During the shark game, I don't even know what it's called, the lava game. It's probably called something else, but whatever. You were the biggest helper to all the students you didn't even know. You even worked up a sweat as you were collaborating with others to get them across the water, but Laura just said it's really lava, using only wooden blocks. You brought energy at 9 a.m. You had a spark that brought an impact to the people you had just met. And every room you entered always felt a little better because you were there. Whether it was a conversation in the hall, logging into Kahoot with the wrong name, you know what I'm talking about, or just a random moment, you made things fun simply by being there. Once you told me, in a note, that I made you feel instantly welcome at FHS. You probably don't remember. But that was one of my favorite things because you do the same thing for others. By just being you. You are Sour Patch Kids, a little bold, a lot chaotic, but in all the good ways. But you always brought out everyone because of your energy. I have no doubt you will carry this energy into the future and make everyone smile just by being Gabe. Good job.
Thank you.
Anthony Ernest. Come on. The thing about you is you are far more layered and deeper than people realize. Something that I actually didn't even learn until this year. You and I have been through literally every class I teach at Ferguson. Lucky. And regardless of the content, something you could always count on was my constant nagging, which went something like this. Dude, you need to come to class. Where have you been? You have all of these things to finish up to pass this class. And your response always with a smile was, I got it. Now, I'm not going to lie. Initially, you did not have it. But after asking a lot of questions and prying, I learned that you have a quiet follow-through, sometimes so quiet that no one can hear it. Though that was very much low-key, that makes me comfortable. You never made anything too serious, and you assured me that it would get done. This subtle, I'll show you energy showed me that although your timeline was different than mine, you were getting through this school thing while balancing life at home the best way you can, or you could. You are silent but certain. You don't have to say too much, and you would rather not have any attention on you. I'm sure you love this right now, as you move forward. You are high choose candies because you stick with it without feeling like anything is too serious. You are low-key persistent and find a way to come out on the other side without sweating it too much or calling any attention to yourself. I can definitely learn something from you about how to tackle life in a more quiet manner. I know you will continue to do things at your pace and on your time because there is no need to be loud when you can get it done without all of the noise. Good job, Anthony. Still here. Cindy Loads, please join me at the podium. Ella Meisner. Come on, girl. I cannot recall our first interaction, but what I can remember was we connected almost instantly, hanging outside my door during passing period. You became my daily fit checker, and I know you would always give me honest but kind assessment of my outfit of the day. It was because of this that you became my hype girl. You always had the sweetest things to say, and I looked forward to our daily and hourly interactions in the hall. Fast forward to this year, you locked in and decided to take on that TCC course and really found something you enjoyed. I remember in your capstone, you discovering nursing and how it made you excited about the future. Our conversations became less about our clothes and more about your practicums and all the interesting things you learned, like wiping butts and cleaning bedpans. Although the course stressed you out, and work and home, you always remained grateful under pressure. And when your year took an unexpected turn, you still didn't crack. You just grew stronger and wiser as you navigated the uncharted waters. You have grown up so much in such a short amount of time that I have known you. You have taken the life lessons that have been thrown in your past and used them to support others and heal the parts of yourself you didn't even know existed, and come out on the other side. It has not been easy, but life never is, and you'll continue to be confronted with challenges as you leave high school. But I want you to remember to take care of yourself first, and that you have everything inside of you to get through the toughest tests. You are Dove chocolate because it gives calm, elegance, composure, and softness and strength. And there's a nice message in every single one of them. The vibe is someone who handles stress, challenges, and deals with the chaos with maturity and steadiness. You are ready for the next steps, and I'm proud of you for using the toughest of times to find out who you really are. Good job, Ella. Right now you're probably wondering, is she done? No, Lexi Perez. From the moment I met you, you were 100% business and 0% messing around. You have always made it very clear through your actions and demeanor that although you are little, you are fierce. Your fiery spirit is quiet and subtle, never in anyone's face or loud, because that's not who you are. You don't need anyone to know any of your opinions or thoughts. You keep those things close to your heart, reserved for only the most important and trustworthy, the people in your corner, the people who get you. I think I started to really see who you are when we started flashing peace signs in the hallway first thing in the morning. There were days the peace sign was sassy and feisty. Sometimes it was sleepy, and sometimes it was set on do not disturb. I quickly learned that you might be small, but girl, you and your heart are mighty. We have had many conversations about who you are, what you want, and where you come from, and what you think about all the things. You speak like someone far beyond your years. There is so much wisdom and empathy inside of you, and I came to understand that when you love, and when you fight, and when you ignore, and when you lock in, you do it with your whole self. You are all heart and all fire, and you have used this to push through all of the challenges that have stood in your way. You didn't let them dim your light, your shine, or extinguish the fire in your heart. You are hot tamales. You are cinnamon and spicy, but you aren't for everyone. You suss out the situation and the person before letting them in, and you determine if they will be part of your world, and you're more than okay if they don't quite fit in. You know that the people who are willing to fight for you are the people worth keeping by your side. And the most important thing of all is believing that you can, have, and will get through anything in your life because of your unstoppable and fiery heart. Never, ever, ever let that spice and that fire dim. Remember who you are. Dre Quintana. Get over here. Imagine this. First day at a new high school, you walk in with full SpongeBob SquarePants fit, head to toe pineapple under the sea vibes, the t-shirt and shorts, and even the socks. I knew immediately that this kid, well, there was no mold for him, no copy and no comparison, and that was exactly the statement you were trying to make, without trying, if you know what I mean. This kid likes to make a statement, whether it's on Monday after a Raiders dub or L against his most hated team, the Broncos. In his jersey, hat, and Raiders chain, or on a college trip to Colorado State University in his CU Buffalo swag, Dre does things his own way. He's an original. He's one of one. If you've ever heard his story, he really didn't like his first experience in high school, like the learning part, like at all. He really hated English and history and science and math, and you get the point. So much so that he wanted to give up, like a lot of times, even after he made his way to FHS. The thing that changed when he got to Ferguson, you can verify this with him, is that the people here, well, they wouldn't let him quit. Even when he shut his Chromebook, grabbed his backpack, and headed out the door. Y'all didn't let Dre do the thing that Dre did best, show up, trip up, and then give up. You created a space for him where he felt like he belonged, where you could blare your music in Grounded and dab up all the adults that made their way through the collab space. We didn't give up on this kid. You all didn't give up on this kid, even though he never put his phone and AirPod away and called everyone fool. He asked me to put that in the speech. The best thing about Dre is that he's an observer. He sees everything, and somehow, even when he's drafting his fantasy football team during senior capstone, like I don't know what's going on, he remembers everything. He might seem uninterested in your class, but he's busy soaking it all in, taking mental notes, all the while making a hilarious and well-played joke at the worst possible time. Dre, you're a Twix, because even though there are two in a pack, and I said you were one of a kind, you are willing in your own way to share your humor and sense of style and your wit with the rest of us. I don't think you will ever forget who you are, but if you do, I hope you put on SpongeBob and remember that you are Dre Quintana. Who let them in here? All right, Kieran Rosenberg. I knew the moment I met this kid in the hall, not even in my class, that he was the kind of person who just moved through his young life on his own. He showed up with just what he needed, nothing more, nothing less. He wasn't overly prepared, just prepared enough to do exactly what he really needed to do. Show up, do the thing, work, sleep, repeat. You always knew where you were going, where the path was, even when no one else did, because you did it your way. I remember talking to Laura once about your grad plan, like last year when you weren't even a senior, and she said something like, "Oh, Kieran, he knows his plan, he has it figured out." In your true entrepreneurial spirit, you were going to just trust in your instincts and navigate your own way through life. You didn't need a high school GPS. You checked things off the list with just the right amount of effort. You are a Milky Way candy bar because you were your own guide as you steered your way through life. As you leave high school, I hope you continue to find your way even when the road becomes dark, rugged, or bumpy, or even scary, even for you. There are times when your usual no GPS needed self might actually need some help, some support, or an extra push to make your $1,000,000 plans come true. In those times, remember, it's okay to not know the way, to get lost, to even fall off track, but it's not okay to just give up. Navigating your own way, even when it's tricky. Good job, Kieran. It's the last one, Annalise Salazar. Annalise and I go way back, like 6 years, and that's a lot of years when you're only 17. like we both are. I have been bothering and pestering you for half of your public school career. And yet here we are together on this stage. In middle school, Annalise liked to party in the hall, but was radio silent in the classroom. She wanted her friends to know she was there, but when it came time to the learning, she was not really there. It wasn't because she didn't want to learn or because she couldn't learn. It was because she hadn't found her classroom voice yet. Annalise was the kind of student who froze the second her name was called and would refuse to make eye contact when anyone asked for volunteers. It wasn't like she couldn't do it. It was because she didn't think she could. Fast forward to her sophomore year. Imagine my surprise when I see you at Ferguson, a place where I knew, even though I was new, she would find her voice both in the hallways and the classroom. Even though I didn't actually have you in class except one semester, I saw a change in you almost immediately. You have what I would call a full-on confidence glow-up, girl. You became focused, you became prepared to class, and you started asking questions. You thrived in art and in grounded, and you smiled and you laughed, and that became an integral part of our school community. There was no more hiding. You found a way to step into your worth. You leveled up. And now look at you, girl. The greatest example of this was in your TCC construction pathway. This girl did not, I repeat, did not like going to construction. She temporarily lost her voice and her confidence. But again, you all reminded her, and she reminded herself, that not only did she enjoy the work she did in the class, but that she was good at it and that you deserve to be there. Annalise, you are 100 grand candy bar because you have discovered your worth and you are worthy of being heard and knowing the right answers. Do not ever hide. Don't reduce yourself to fit into a space you feel like you don't belong in. And always, always remember who you are. You are talented and you are smart. And don't you ever let anyone tell you differently or they can hear it from me. Good job, Annalise. Here, this is yours, but I need you to do one more thing for me. I would like to welcome Justin King to the podium.
Santana Shoal. There are certain students who leave an impression on you because of their talent. There are others who leave an impression because of their personality. And then, every once in a while, there's a student who reminds you why the professions of teaching and coaching matter in the first place. My first interaction with Santana was in the hallways at LCS when he went to the Pearl Harbor Museum in Hawaii and came back with magnets of the USS Arizona, which he gave me one, and I still have mine on my fridge today. I didn't even teach him at the time, didn't even know his name. It's one of the many instances of the considerate man he is. A couple years later, I had the privilege of getting to know Santana in 2 different arenas, on the basketball court when he was in middle school, and later in the classroom studying moral philosophy when he was a freshman. What stood out to me, though, in every season of his life is not just simply his ability, but his character. As a basketball player, he was coachable, competitive, and dependable when he was academically eligible. He understood that success in life is built on toughness, pushing through adversity, as well as caring about the people around you. Even at a young age, he carried himself with compassion, humility, and grit. Many of the younger players looked up to him and continue to call him Unc to this day. As a freshman, sitting in a moral philosophy class filled with high-performing seniors, I saw some of those qualities deepen into something much more impressive. He wrestled with serious questions about virtue, justice, responsibility, and what it means to be a good man and live a good life. In a world that often encourages convenience over conviction, he chose to push through adversities he has experienced with a smile. He demonstrated that strong character is not something you simply talk about. is something that you practice daily in the way you treat others, the standards you hold yourself to, and the choices you make when no one else is watching. What makes me so proud of Santana is not merely the accomplishments he's achieved, like this moment, but the man he's become. He's thoughtful, he's principled, he's compassionate. He possesses an ethic that gives me the confidence that he'll be successful in whatever endeavors he undertakes in the future. Graduation is often described as an ending, but in many ways it's a beginning. The beginning of a life where character matters even more than achievement. And if his life is so far any indication, I have no doubt he will continue to lead with wisdom, courage, and integrity. It has been one of the great privileges of my life to coach and teach him and see him now. Whew. Congratulations, Santanista. I'm so proud of you, buddy. I'd like to welcome Mike Vigi to the podium.
Jackson Porter, please. They say still waters run deep, and that couldn't describe Jackson any better. It's been an absolute privilege to watch him grow to the young man standing here today. Well, I will miss seeing him walk through these halls. I will miss seeing him not walking through these halls next year with a guitar in his hand. I'm more excited to see where life takes him next. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What lies behind us and what lies ahead of us, all small matters compared to what lies within us." Jackson is a perfect example of this quote. He has shown that leaders do not have to be loudest people in the room to make the greatest impact. He leads through kindness, humility, and talent. And the way he treats the people around him, people naturally gravitate towards him because he makes others feel valued and seen. One of the things that makes Jackson so special is that he uses his talents to serve others. This past Christmas, he built an electric guitar for my daughter, not because he had to, because that's the kind of guy that Jackson is. And the thoughtful, generous, creative gift wasn't just a gift, it was a piece of himself and a memory our family will cherish forever. Jackson also wanted me to recognize the people who helped him shape him into the person he is today. His mother, Amanda, his dad, Jeremy, and his brother, Jasper, and his sister, Cheyenne, and his brother from another mother, Lucas. Jackson knows he would not be standing here today without your love and support. Thank you for encouraging him, believing in him, and helping him become the compassionate and generous person we all know. Jackson, your future is full of possibilities. Keep creating, keep leading, and keep sharing your gift to the world. The impact you make may not be loud, but it will always be meaningful. I'm going to leave you with a Walt Whitman quote, that the powerful play must go on, and you may contribute a verse. Through your music, your character, and the way you live your story here, you've already contributed a beautiful verse. And I think I speak for the rest of us when I say I cannot wait to hear the rest of your song. And I'm giving you this empty book so you can write down all your verses, and they'll never be forgotten, like I will never forget you. Congratulations. I'd like to welcome to the podium Nelson Hunter. Hunter Nelson.
Aiden Hasbrook. I've had the privilege of knowing Aiden for the past 2 years. In that time, I've learned a few important things about him. First, if there's a quiet moment in the room, Aiden is probably about to ruin it with a joke. Second, if there's work to be done, he's already halfway finished before most people even get started. And third, he is goated at fishing. Aiden is the kind of person who keeps people laughing, even on stressful days. Every class needs a class clown, but what makes Aiden different is that behind all the jokes is someone who genuinely cares about the people around him. He knows how to make people feel comfortable, included, and entertained, which is a gift not everyone has. But what I admire most is how much he's grown. Over the last 2 years, I've watched Aiden improve tremendously in both writing and reading. He's proof that growth doesn't come from being naturally perfect at something. It comes from showing up, putting in the work, and refusing to quit when things get difficult. That kind of determination says a lot about who he is. Aiden is blue-collar at heart. He's hardworking, dependable, and not afraid to get his hands dirty. In a world where people often look for shortcuts, Aiden understands the value of honest work. Whether it's in the classroom, on the job, or out fishing somewhere before sunrise, probably not, but that's okay. He puts in effort and takes pride in what he does. Aiden, I know the future is going to bring you success, good stories, and probably a few more bad jokes. Wherever life takes you, keep being yourself, hardworking, humble, and the guy who can always make people laugh when they need it most. Congratulations, Aiden. Dominic Shepard. Dom was a student who was difficult to get to know at first. Every day, Dominic showed up to class on time, kept his head down, quietly completed his work at an exceptional level, and then went on his way. Hey, how's it going? And have a good day were about the only phrases I regularly heard from him. More than once, I found myself wondering, how can someone carry themselves with such consistency and quiet discipline? It wasn't until I read one of Dominic's personal essays where he shared pieces of a difficult past that I began to understand how life had shaped him. Time and hardship have refined Dominic into the person he is today. The struggles of life are not disqualifiers. Often, they are preparation for greatness. What is strength without weakness? What is courage without fear? What is endurance without seasons of waiting? Some of the strongest people are not those who avoid hardship, but those who learn how to grow through it. That is what encourages me most about Dominic. He is someone who has learned to show up for himself, to face life's challenges head on, and even in the midst of his own battles, still seeks to help others. Dom, never forget the qualities you have already proven to possess: consistency, humility, loyalty, virtue, and a servant-hearted spirit. Any business would be fortunate to hire a man like you, and any employee would be honored to work for a leader like you. Take pride in how far you have come. I am incredibly proud of you and cannot wait to see where life takes you next. Congratulations. Colin Woolheather. Getting to know Colin over the last year has been an experience I won't forget. From the very beginning, he always had the funniest greetings, which is exactly why all of you should go say hello to him after the ceremony. Sorry, I threw you under the bus. And if you were fortunate enough to stay in his circle long enough, chances are Colin gave you a nickname that somehow made no sense and perfect sense, all at the same time. Some honorable mentions include Jit Tang, Circle K, and H-Mart. One thing I've especially appreciated about Colin is his curiosity. He genuinely loves learning about random scientific discoveries and inventions. Nearly every other day, he would bring up something new, from white phosphorus and quasars to farming techniques, katsumatsu, gene editing technology, radioactive materials, and countless other topics. Conversations with Colin were never boring, if anything. They constantly reminded me of how exciting it is to meet someone who truly enjoys learning for the sake of learning. I also had the privilege of teaching Colin in both English and chemistry, two subjects that challenge students in different ways. Not many students excel in both literature and mathematics, but Colin managed to stand out in each. His comprehension skills in English were exceptional, which naturally made him a strong writer. In chemistry, he grasped new concepts and mathematical applications with impressive speed and independence. After a year and a half of teaching Colin, this is how I would sum him up. A genuine person who is both a comic and an intellectual, someone who deeply cares about people, and someone driven by the belief that society can and should become better for everyone. Colin, I am incredibly proud of you. You've graduated high school, you're preparing to attend Northeastern this winter, and you possess something that will take you far in life, the passion to remain a lifelong learner. And finally, there's only one way to properly say this. You're built like Booster Gold when he defeated Doomsday. Congratulations, Colin. So much fun. I would like to welcome Tristan Oliver to the podium.
Kathy Dayton Harris. Bam, 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 bam. I know how you don't like being embarrassed, but I'll keep this short and sweet. Here we are. You made it. You made a promise to me that you'd do it. And time is here. You're graduating. I'm so proud of you. I'm not gonna cry. I know you're going to take the world by storm. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to make mistakes, not knowing it all, asking for help, starting over again, being yourself, and or having a bad day. The goal is not to stay there. I have no doubt in my mind that adulthood will be good for you and it will go well for you if you put your mind to it. Make the best of every opportunity. There will be ups, there will be downs, and you will continue to grow from the lessons that you learn. We made it. What a journey. As you would say, your girl did it. Kathy voice. The next chapter is yours. Still so much to accomplish. Keep going. Continue to be great. I'd like to welcome Nick Blanco to the podium.
If I start crying, Tristan started it. Devin Schaefer. sure? Okay. Today we celebrate more than a diploma, we celebrate perseverance. Most journeys to this stage are tough, and Devin's is no different. He faced challenges that could have easily knocked him off course. There were moments of doubt, setbacks, and hard lessons learned. And yes, he kept me, the dean, on my toes. There were disagreements, tough conversations, and times when it seemed like we were speaking completely different languages. But something important happened along the way, understanding. Respect grew where frustrations once stood. Effort replaced resistance, and step by step, progress took shape. What makes today meaningful is not just that Devin made it, but how he made it, by choosing to keep going when it would have been easier to stop. By learning, adapting, and proving that growth is always possible. This diploma represents resilience. It represents change. And most of all, it represents a future that is earned, not given. I always threatened to drag Devin across the stage, but thankfully he did this on his own with the support of adults in his life. Good job, Devin. I'm really proud of you. And we will start with our second half of the day with Keisha Martin.
Donovan Cordova. It is truly an honor to stand here and celebrate Donovan Cordova today. Donovan, your journey has not been a straight path, and that's exactly what makes this moment so meaningful. Your life has been filled with both incredible highs and difficult lows, moments that could have easily caused you to give up, but you didn't. You made a choice, a powerful one, to keep going and to pursue your diploma. Your time with us at Ferguson may have been shorter than we expected, but in that time, you showed something many people take years to develop, self-awareness. You recognized that you needed a different path, and you had the courage to take it. Through SOARS, you found your footing again, and more importantly, you found your strength. I have to say, I miss our conversations, whether it was talking you through tough moments when your emotions were running a little high, or giving you a hard time about zooming around on that mini bike, which, for the record, I'm still not convinced that it's street legal. You always brought authenticity, honesty, and a little bit of unpredictability into every interaction, and that's something special. What stands out most about you, Donovan, is your resilience. When life wasn't kind, when it tried to knock you down, you dug deep and found a way to rise again, and that's not easy. That takes grit, determination, and heart. As Rocky Balboa once said, it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And Donovan, you are the embodiment of that message. Today isn't about earning a diploma, it's about everything it took to get here, and you should be incredibly proud of that. I know I am. Congratulations. Bethany Solis. We said we're not going to make eye contact because we'll start crying. Get over here. Beth, from the very first day you walked into Ferguson High School, you had a goal, and not just any goal, but a bold one, to graduate early. And not only did you set that vision, you followed through. Graduating as a junior with a 24-credit diploma is no small feat. It takes discipline, focus, and an incredible amount of determination. And you have all of that, and then some. Now, your journey here hasn't exactly been a straight path, but there were moments when you were a little bit spicy, and moments when you were incredibly sweet. But through it all, you have always been genuine. What you see with Bethany is exactly what you get, and that authenticity is one of your greatest strengths. I'll be honest, you may or may not be the only student who has made me cry in the past 3 years, and not always for the best reasons. But what speaks volumes about your character is what came next. A week later, you showed up, ready for a real, mature conversation, one that ended with a big hug and full of smiles. That's growth. That's emotional intelligence. And that's who you are becoming. I have truly enjoyed watching you grow and blossom into the bold, mature, and wise young woman that you are today. You are passionate, you are fierce, you are unapologetically yourself, and that combination makes you a force to be reckoned with. No matter how far you may have strayed from your path, you have always found your way back. As Maya Angelou once said, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. And Bethany, you have lived that truth. You don't stay down, you rise, you adjust, and you keep moving forward. I have no doubt that you are going to crush every single dream and goal that you set for yourself. It's in your DNA. That fire inside of you, it is powerful, and it's going to carry you places that you haven't even imagined yet. Congratulations, Bethany. Jaden Geisler. It is a total joy to stand here and celebrate Jaden Geisler. Jaden, your journey through high school has been anything but traditional, and yet here you are, standing strong with a diploma in your hand. That alone says so much about your resilience and your determination and your refusal to give up on yourself. You came to Ferguson High School, stepped away for a time, came back, and then found your path through Source. That takes courage, and that is something to be incredibly proud of. But beyond your journey, it's who you are that has left such a lasting mark. You are vibrant, bold, fierce, energetic, compassionate, joyful, and driven. You don't just walk into a room, you light it up. And I have to say, I'm going to deeply miss hearing your voice every day. I'm gonna back up. Yes, Keisha, you are looking fierce today, queen. No one, and I mean no one, can make me feel more like a superstar than you can, Jaden. And that is a gift. What makes you so special is your authenticity. You are unapologetically and wholeheartedly yourself. In a world that often tries to put people into boxes, you refuse to be anything other than who you truly are. And that is so powerful. As Lady Gaga once said, don't you ever let a soul in the world tell you that you can't be exactly who you are. Period. Jaden, you live that truth every single day. So as you move forward, hold on to that spark, hold on to that joy, and hold on to every single piece of what makes you you. Because the world doesn't need you to change. It needs more of exactly who you already are. I'm so incredibly proud of you, Jaden. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Jason Germain back to the podium.
All right, unfortunately, Roman Alexander, Byron Powers, Lynn Stankus, Camila Villegas, and Fernanda Villegas, 5 of our 40 graduates, were unable to attend the ceremony this afternoon. Please help me give Roman, Byron, Lynn, Camila, and Fernanda a warm round of applause. We have just one final task before we bring our graduation ceremony to a close. The turning of the tassels, led by Dre Quintana. Dre, please join me.
Fellow graduates, the turning of the tassel from right to left signifies an individual's movement from candidate to graduate. Graduates ready? Turn the tassel now.
That's that A+ cheer and I was looking for. 2 hours and 54 minutes into it. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Spring 2026 commencement ceremony for Harold Ferguson High School. I wish everyone a safe and healthy summer, and on behalf of the entire Ferguson High School staff, we want to thank each of you for being here today and sharing this special moment with our graduates. Graduates, congratulations.